Hey there, Sparrow. Welcome. Happy Sunday, folks. Batch cooking is not worth it. Yeah, I just said it. I'm gonna be very specific here. I'm gonna adjust my microphone, which is bumping up against the mouse pad. Hey, Vaxis. I'm gonna be very specific about what I mean. Making a big pot of stuff and then portioning it up and freezing it. Perfect. Good. Awesome. Do it. Making a big batch of things for a party or a group of friends or something like that. Awesome. Do that. Always worth the effort if it's for a special occasion. Making a lot of little individual items just for yourself. Gang is all here. Oh, we got quite a few people online. I'm gonna say some things. What, I don't even know what part of the year it is. December. Okay. I haven't been on for like a week. Oh, by the way, everyone, I'm gonna generate a backup real quick because I can't do it from the console because it's still broken. So it might lag for a second. Don't worry if it lags a little bit. So I was inspired to try a recipe from YouTube today. I'm gonna eat part of it on stream. I'm eating 2 of them now. I made 16 of these. I baked 4 of them already. The other 12 are in the freezer right now, getting flash frozen, so I can portion them for future days. They're not gonna last more than 3 or 4 days. There's not that much food in each of these. It took forever to make these. It wasn't worth it for normal meals. But I put so much effort in that I'm like, I'm gonna show people because they do look nice. So these are these little buns. This is nice and hot from the oven. Nice and kind of a little crispy on the outside. Probably not being picked up by the microphone. Inside of this is a beef patty and some sauteed vegetables. I put onion, parsnip, which is not easy to get here, but my grocery service does sometimes carry it, and mushrooms, some herbs and spices, and a mix of carrot, celery, and parsley root cubes that was frozen. So that's it. That part was easy. Sometimes it's more important to enjoy the process and the product. Yeah, my point is the process in this case was not good. It was very stressful. I don't normally cook meat. I only bought it because it was on sale. I'm not good at cooking meat. I'm not experienced. I had a real rough time making these. So for 16 of these, I think it took me like 5 hours total. And the worst of it was just the meat. So I might make something like this for a special occasion in the future, but I'm not going to do this for just like... I wanted to have easy meals in the freezer so that I can have convenient, healthy food rather than the like chicken strips and fries and stuff that I normally take out of the freezer. So I'm going to eat this on stream. I ate one already, that's why I started late, because it took so long. I did not think it would still be cooking. But I'll show you the inside of this. You're all going to get to enjoy my mouth sounds while I eat as well. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see that very well. But a little patty of beef, cooked with some seasoning. And then the vegetables inside. It does taste good. The beef is kind of meh. But that's probably because I don't really know how to cook beef. So, only the finest quality mouth sounds for your entertainment, folks. This is my dinner, so... I'm gonna be munching on that while I play. Oh. Incredible timing. Let me mute that. Why do I only ever get messages on WhatsApp when I'm streaming or recording? Anyway. I haven't been on a server in a while. Some stuff has finished growing here. I'm sure the sheep are not producing milk right now because I haven't been on to feed them. Just kind of like chicken. I think people have been playing a lot. This is all grown. Harvest that. That is a very loud music. That down a bit. My plan for today is I just want to make some hardtack for the solstice party. Once again, solstice party is going to be public, just like the Halloween party was. Just take a look around the village here. And it should be on I believe, the 17th. That's what we said. The milk that I cut before is all spoiled. Okay, ready to mate. So I missed out on that. Hello, Jammer Beber. It's my diary. DYE-uri. All still good. We killed a lot of pigs last time because it turned out they were kind of lagging out the server a little bit. I think there are still quite a few of them. Their numbers are reduced. And how's our chickens doing? check on them. There's many of them. There's many more in here than there were. So clearly they have given birth. Hatched. Making some sausages. Start aging them or save the materials to near. Yeah, the sausages don't last as long as you would expect them to. With the expanded foods mod. I think we don't have any rooster on this side yet. No, we don't. I need to get a rooster over there, but I have to be online more often. These new fruit trees have grown pretty well. Very nice. I still have to finish all this. I have not had any time to play. I haven't even had any time to record this week. I have been having so many doctor's appointments, physiotherapy appointments, you would not freaking believe. Would not believe. Oh, and last time we finished the last little bits of fixing up the translocator depot, and I still haven't done the thing for resetting people's jobs. Someone will have to remind me of that. Not right after the stream, because that I won't. I'm not gonna be able to do it right after the stream, and then I'll forget. You have to remind me like now and then during the week, and then I'll be like, oh, I can do that right now, and then I'll do it right then. What are these? Wolfberries. Very pretty. All right. I'm gonna go back. And I'll see if I have any flour. Hardtack is pretty easy to make. This is one of the modded foods. So this is a thing here with a blank sign. And a single silver ingot in it. Okay. I don't know who left that, but I guess thanks. Flour. Got a little bit, but not very much. I got tons of this dried cassava. I'm gonna make some cassava flour. And I'm gonna, oh. Little cabbage. Get some sauerkraut in there. I'm gonna toggle this. That's gonna take a little while. I'm gonna eat more of my food while that's going. Mouse toggles for the win. It does taste pretty good. But it wasn't fun to make these. What I wish I'd done instead, like I only bought the meat because it was on sale. And I figured I'd use it to like prepare a bunch of meals. What I should have done is just mixed in the meat with the vegetables and just make like a big stew thing. And then I still could have done something like this, but just with it all mixed together, because making these little patties, maybe I can give you like a better view now that I've taken a few more bites. But making those little patties took forever, and it had to be done separately. I couldn't do it at the same time as the vegetables because they required constant attention. So I had to do all the patties and then set them aside, and then do all the vegetables. Stop oak trees from turning into mazes? I'm not sure why that would be happening. We really nerfed the rate at which trees can propagate. So if you're still having trouble, I mean, we can turn off the propagation entirely if folks want to. I've said this before. Nobody's ever really said whether they want to or not. But it's very easy to toggle that off. I only left it on because I think sometimes people enjoy like having the like the mushrooms spontaneously growing and stuff like that. And a tiny little mouth. I need a napkin. Sorry for my noisy chair as well. A little cache of napkins right there. Please God, turn it off. I can turn it off, it's fine. Again, just remind me. Probably not right after the stream. They shouldn't be spreading that fast. So if they are, maybe something is wrong with the mod or something, and maybe the settings aren't working. Although they're not spreading fast around spawn. So I'm not sure why that's happening. But if it's bothering people, but yeah, I can just turn it off. It's fine. No worries. Once again, I feel like I started a sentence and didn't finish it. Probably wasn't that important, right? Oh, but yeah. Basically, I wish I just mixed it all into a big stew. and then spoon that into these. And that would have taken probably half as much time and effort as the way I did it. And it probably would have tasted better. Well. They're a little bit greasy. But, you know, the grease is all from the meat, basically, so... A little bit... I put a little bit of vegetable oil in at the start, but... for the most part, like, the vegetables were cooked in the drippings from the beef, so... I'm not too worried about the grease. It's the good kind of grease. I'm very hungry. I'm a very slow eater, so if I had eaten everything I wanted to eat before the stream wouldn't have started for like an hour. At least I can see on the microphone that the noise gate is working and it's not picking up all the chewing. I didn't zoom my camera in as much as usual either, so you can see more of my body than you usually can. I guess that's fine. I'm wearing my No One Knows What They're Doing t-shirt from Filmjoy. It's very soft, very comfy, I like it. And it's covered in facts. Alright. Cassava flour. Do I have any food that I can just eat now? I got some candy. I'll eat some candy. Just realizing I'm actually quite hungry, and all the food that I had before was fully spoiled. I need to look up... I think you need salt. 1 flour, 0.1 liters of water, and a handful of salt. Eggs and herbs optional. Okay. So we've got flour. 0.1 liters of water, so we're only going to need 6.4 liters of water. That's enough right there. And a stack of salt. I have some salt, which I traded for a while back. Eggs and herbs optional. I would love to get some basil in there. Got medium rift activity, and the sun is setting. It's not ideal. I have more basil, but it's not fenced in, so I have to go out into the danger zone to get it. I'll probably be okay. Most likely, I will be fine. Got a good amount anyway. I don't know if you can mix in more than one per dough, like you can with the regular bread. But we'll just have one slot. And I probably have 60, if they haven't spoiled, I probably have 64 eggs. Ooh. Pretty big halite deposit under your base. Oh, good to know. I do tend to run low on salt. I pickled some eggs, by the way. Oh yeah, I turned the food spoilage way down, so these will last for ages. Another bucket. Let's crack some eggs. He's in the way. This whole stream is a disaster. Yeah, I don't think I know of any halite, so I've just been trading people for salt. There's half of it. We can feed the eggshells to the pigs. How are you doing with the corn? I have hotkeys set up to toggle the mouse buttons because it was destroying my wrists and I was dying. I wasn't able to play very much because of that for a long time. I can share the scripts that I have in the program that you need to run them. You do need to install some stuff on your computer to make it happen. Can I have egg and herbs? I can. Can you do 2? No, you can't. Okay. So I only need the 1 stack. This is going to be good. So yeah, I push a button on the side of my mouse that I've programmed to toggle, and it toggles the right mouse button. I have another one that toggles the left mouse button. Otherwise, I wouldn't really be able to play. My wrists are doing rough. But yeah, not built into the game or anything. I have external software to do that for me. Legendary hardtack. The legendary hardtack from the stores. I got something stuck in my teeth. It's definitely not embarrassing to eat on stream. Your wrists are kinder in the warmer weather? It's the opposite for me. Oh gosh. Excuse me. Picking food out of my teeth. How was the weather? It's been really cold, actually. We had snow this morning. It's melted now. It jumped up to about 1 degree during the day, but I think it's going to snow again tonight. And I am not complaining. I don't think we got any snow last year at all, so... It's supposed to be snowing at this time of year. Less embarrassing to eat on stream, it would be hungry to have low blood sugar. I mean, I think I probably embarrass myself pretty consistently either way. But I'm hungry. It's not the low blood sugar so much. Is that when I get hungry, like, my sensory issues get worse. And so my tolerance for anything goes right down the toilet, and I get stressed out very easily, so... Trust me, it's better to hear the mouth noises and see me pick stuff out of my teeth than it would be for me to be just hungry. And I didn't want to cancel again. Canceled too many times lately. Tired though I am, let's at least make some hardtack, yeah? Wonderful. Hope everybody's Sunday is going well. I've had a very stressful Sunday. Office quite cold. -8 to -11. Well, you're further north, so that makes sense. It hasn't gone below like -1 here so far, but it's only November. I remember it being like -20 here in January, February when I first moved here, but that was like 15 years ago. And it doesn't get that cold anymore, which is honestly not great. You have 25 centimeters of snow, wow. When I was a kid growing up in New England, in the northeast US, we used to get tons and tons and tons of snow. Meters and meters of snow every year. I haven't seen snow like that in so many years, and even where I grew up, it doesn't happen anymore. It's too warm now. Although they do occasionally get horrible ice storms, which is fun. Why we got scary music? I don't want to be scared. I'm almost done with this roll, you guys. And you won't have to watch me eat anymore. I am dropping it all over the place, though. I will use some parts of this recipe again. I've never made filled rolls like this. I've only made filled, like, pastry things. Like, folded in half. And I do like these. I like the shape. I like the dough. It's very easy to make the dough. And I like the vegetable mix. I would put less meat in them, and I would mix the meat in with the vegetables. And probably not for just everyday eating. I'll make these for special occasions, probably, and that's it. Snow was a lie told by Big Santa to sell more sleighs. Trust me, when I was growing up, snow was very, very real. There was frightening amounts of it. What was that? May have accidentally built one wall slightly off. Oh no! Can't you just redesign slightly? If I did that, I would not be moving all those blocks. I'd be like, you know what? This is an intentionally asymmetrical building. Deal with it. Everything's got to go in the same slots, otherwise it won't stack. Yeah, it's a feature if you say it is. I agree with Jeremy Beber on that one. A snowball fight when you're a kid? Yeah, same here. I got hit in the face with an ice ball once, actually. It was a memory that I'd forgotten about. We're having a big... So we built huge snow forts. I mean, when I say we had meters of snow, like, literally, we had tremendous amounts of snow every winter. And I lived in a neighborhood with a lot of kids. And yeah, we would build huge forts, or sometimes we would like dig tunnels into the snowbanks that the snow plows would leave when they cleared the roads. Build little forts in there. We would make piles and piles and piles of snowballs. Hey, Super the Underdog. Yes, get pings now. You reminded me enough times that I finally remembered to do it. Let's calm down. I'm gonna go feed these to the pigs. And probably get back. Door left open. Probably get back before the oven is ready. Here we go. Boom. Hello, piggies. You are the only animals that will eat these, but you will eat them. So eat them, please. Don't make too many more babies, though. We don't want to have to do what we did last time. Everyone's opinion on what's the cheap student food. You mean like regionally? Like what do people think of as cheap student food? Where I grew up, it would be ramen. Ramen would be the cheap student food. Lots and lots of ramen. Alright. So we would have to bake them multiple times. It can be baked up to 3 more times to crush the moisture and flavor out of it and make it last longer. So if folks are looking for food that lasts for ages, right now we still have the food spoilage turned way down so that we can make sure that everything we make lasts until the solstice party. But after that, I will probably put the food spoilage back up where it was, which is still below the default, but spoil time right now is, I think 10%, yeah. Alright, that was my last bite of food. That bite was really good. Yeah, ex-student is also saying ramen in the chat. Hey, X. Like, that's the stereotypical student food. Ooh. If I have food in my teeth for the rest of the stream, somebody has to tell me. Alright? Alright, I feel better. I'm probably not going to do much more than this today. Instant noodles and pelmeni, yeah. Yeah, I think of those as being Russian ravioli. UFO ravioli. They're like ravioli, but they're little balls. They have a lot more filling in them than Italian ravioli has. You can get those here at the Russian and Ukrainian import shops. I used to buy it, but I don't really anymore because it's kind of expensive because it's not a local thing. And they're not really... Like, I don't like them that much. That they would be worth paying that much for them. Never been a student. Yeah, I think there's a difference between cheap food for when you're poor and student food. Because student food not only has to be cheap, but it also has to be something you can prepare with basically no cooking tools because they're eating in like a dorm room. So the most you might have might be like a kettle for water. Maybe in some places you'd be allowed a hot plate or something, but so that's why ramen is so popular, at least among American students, because usually you'll have access to either a kettle for boiling water or a microwave. So, sprats. I don't think I have had sprats, and I also don't think I know what that is. I do make rye bread. Actually, these rolls that I made tonight is the first time I think I've ever made bread that was just with wheat flour. Every time I make bread, I always put rye flour in it because I like rye. Turns out wheat flour is much easier to work with. I kind of understand why it's so much more popular. Fish and oil. Oh, I don't like fish. I do not like fish. I gag on the taste of fish. The only time I like fish is if it doesn't taste like fish. So like fish fingers, where they're like battered and fried and they don't taste like fish anymore, those are good. I wish I liked fish because it's really healthy and really cheap in most places. But I just can't. I can't deal with the taste. I think it's probably one of those things where like it depends a lot on what you grew up eating. I need to warm up this oven. Doesn't say what temperature it needs to bake, but I'm gonna guess it probably is gonna need a little more. Wish you like fish, fish cake, fish fingers, battered cod, haddock. Got it, yeah. Oops. Get back out of there. Pike. Don't think I've had that. But yeah, anything that tastes like fish, I can't stand it. I'm also allergic to a lot of seafood, so that's probably for the best. I'm not allergic to fish specifically, but a lot of times when you buy fish products, they contain other things. What's the nutrition on these, by the way? 270 basic saturation. 45 vegetable. 3.5 hit points from that basil. 200 protein. I think the egg is helping a lot with that. No grains. Okay, I guess the 270 is grain saturation. Go fishing. So you're like getting sparrow, prawns or shrimp for in the U.S. is the seafood that I am most allergic to, so I cannot eat those. It's actually a problem because a lot of like ramen and stuff like that has shrimp in it for the broth. So I have to be really careful around anything like East Asian seafood in general. Very often contains some amount of shrimp. Closest thing I have is non-student poor people meals like noodles with no meat, vegetables with ketchup. Vegetables with ketchup. That's a new one for me. I don't think I would want that ketchup on my vegetables. You eat what you like, but that sounds disgusting to me. I wouldn't take it from you, but ooh, no thank you. That, you know what? You can have all of that. You don't have to share. I don't want any, thank you. I love vegetables though. I eat like a great big salad at least a few times a week. Like a big old bowl is just like lettuce, cucumber, bell pepper, mushrooms if I got them, red onion, soups and stews. Soups and stews are always good. Instant noodle with sour cream. That's way worse than ketchup on vegetables. But that is a Latvian, Russian, and that whole kind of cuisine. You put sour cream on everything. When I was in Latvia, they were like, "Here, you want some sour cream for your salad?" No, please don't put sour cream on my vegetables. Please, please. Unless you've made some kind of dip out of it. Put sour cream on the meat, sour cream on potato. Well, sour cream on potatoes is alright. They put sour cream on absolutely everything. Sour cream on the little UFO raviolis instead of red sauce. Ugh. Nice thing about things that don't smell awful but also don't look appetizing. No one's gonna ask you to share. True. Ketchup on Chinese. Actually, you know what? Ketchup on Chinese food makes more sense to me than ketchup on vegetables. Because there's similar flavor palettes, really. Pre-cooked meatloaf dishes. Interesting. Big bags of ugly veg. Yeah. They don't do that here, I'm afraid. Not really. The quality of fresh produce in this country is abysmal, pretty much universally. It's such a problem here that like they've had to pass laws saying that international companies can't just send us their worst stuff. But the way the laws are worded is very easy to get around. Like they just have to put a different label on it and they're fine. So ketchup on avocado. Okay, now you're just trying to upset me. Ugh. Again, everyone is more than welcome to eat what they want, and I would never. It bothers me when people are like, "No, that food is objectively bad, and no one should like it." Like, you have your own taste buds. Eat what you want. Let other people eat what they want. But there are certain flavor combinations where I'm just like, I can't imagine intentionally eating that. Noodle broth and flavor. Yeah, instant. Well, when I make instant noodles, I don't make them instant. People are so different and strange. It's true. Avocado cut in half. Add a bit of ketchup on top. I'm gonna take your word for it. You can have it. I don't want it. I love the taste of avocado. If I'm gonna eat avocado, I just want to taste the avocado. I don't want to taste ketchup. Oh, what was I saying? It probably wasn't important. It was related to food. That's all we're talking about today. Food only. Food conversation only. Anyone who tries to have a conversation about not food will be banned permanently. Oh, I was talking about ramen, actually. I do want to... Cheap veg... Oh, man, that sounds nice. Pickles on white bread with lemon pepper. Pickles, for me, I just eat them. I make them. I need to actually make some, actually. I haven't made any in a while. And solstice coming up. That's definitely solstice food for me. But I just eat them. They just... out of the jar directly into my face. And then I have to try to stop myself before I eat the entire jar. Yeah, when I make ramen, I can't stand just the noodles and the broth. Like, I guess it tastes good, but it doesn't feel like there's any point in eating it because there's so little nutrition in it. I'll just be hungry in like 10 minutes anyway. So if I'm gonna make ramen, I probably put more effort into my instant ramen than I do into most other foods. Like, I will cut up and saute onion, carrot, cabbage, and mushrooms. Saute them using the oil packet that's in the ramen, plus a little bit of extra oil, so you have enough. Then once they're all nice and sauteed, I add in the flavor packet. The chili packet goes in with the oil, so they can get the spice into the oil. Then the flavor packet and the water go in, and then I boil it for like 20 minutes. And then I add the noodles, and I boil it for another 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how thick they are. Then, after I get that into the bowl, I add soy sauce, shirataka, and those crispy pre-fried onions you can buy in big bags. Mmm. Spectacular. Best university roommate or cellmate in prison? Well, I mean, at a university, you wouldn't have access to the cooking tools to make any of these things. So, but yeah, I need a lot of vegetables. I'm used to eating a lot of vegetables, and if I don't, which is good, and if I don't eat enough vegetables, my body starts getting angry with me. So I'm like, oh, I need a vegetable. I need to eat a vegetable right now, or I'm gonna die. So I make a big bowl of salad, or I make some ramen with tons of vegetables in it, or I make... my favorite lazy meal is meatball stew, or meatball soup. I don't know if I've talked about meatball soup on here, but if you haven't heard about meatball soup, frozen meatball, this whole thing, it takes about 30 seconds, and then you wait like 25 minutes for it to cook, and then you eat. It all comes from the freezer. Frozen meatballs. I like the chicken IKEA meatballs. I haven't been to IKEA in a while, and they don't deliver the meatballs. So right now I've just got meatballs that I've ordered from my grocery service, which are not, they're like beef pork ones. They're okay. I don't like them as much. So I put six meatballs. I have a very precise recipe. 6 meatballs. Then frozen mushrooms, which are pre-sliced. Frozen, there's something here called Svichkova mix. Svichkova is a Czech, or maybe not specifically Czech, but it's a local stew kind of meal, but you can buy the vegetables for it, which is carrot, parsley root, and celery root, pre-cut into cubes and frozen, and it's cheaper to buy that than to buy the fresh ingredients and cut them up yourself. So in goes a bunch of the Svichkova cubes, and frozen corn, frozen peas. I think that's all the vegetables I put in there. Then I dump in some dried wild garlic, which is a very common spice you can buy in shops here. I don't think you can get it in North America. I'm not sure about the UK. I think you can get it in the UK. It grows there. So like a tablespoon of that, like a tablespoon of ground cayenne pepper, and a big, or a teaspoon of the pepper, and like a big heaping spoon of, there's a soup stock or vegetable stock mix here called kukarek, like Little Cook, which is really just a good quality vegetable stock powder. It doesn't come in cubes, it just comes in a big bag of the powder, and it's got like little freeze-dried vegetables in it. Fill with water, boil, simmer, lid on the top, walk away, come back in 20 minutes, soup. If I'm feeling ambitious, I might throw some soup noodles in the last few minutes, but I just ate all that food on stream and now I'm hungry again. We gotta... I like food and I like cooking. Cooking is how I get through the winter depression. When I'm feeling really, really depressed from the darkness, I go in the kitchen and I make myself cook something from scratch. Something like that doesn't need to be cooked from scratch. Something about that is just so satisfying. Like, I'll be, okay, I want to make some savory pancakes, and I want to put lentil flour in them. You can buy lentil flour here. It's not even really expensive. I get my old-fashioned hand crank coffee grinder, which I don't use for coffee because I don't like coffee. Load red lentils in there and grind them up into flour, and then put them in something and eat it. It's just so much more satisfying. Tuna sandwich. That's pretty good too. Man, this hardtack takes a long time to bake, huh? It's slowing down. Some more wood in this time. Heat it up a little more. Try that. It's the time. Middle of the night. Nice and rainy. I gotta do something with these plants. Oh gosh, oh my gosh. I have so much chores to do. Oh, I planted peanuts, look at that. Not done yet. Harvest these as well. I've made a ton of sauerkraut. That's definitely more than we need. The party, I get some salted meat, pickled onions. I managed to make a whole bunch of cheese. There was a few days where I managed to get online enough times that I actually got a decent amount of milk out of the sheep and I made some cheese. So don't take the cheese, please, if you're on there. I'm generally willing to share like breads and fruit bars and stuff like that, but I'm going to save the cheese for Solstice Party snacks. Rome crashed. The Vegisaur crashed. Oh no. I'm sorry. Five seconds. Come on. Just realized the game is not centered on the screen. Hold on a moment. There we go. It's been like that the whole time and nobody told me. You guys seen the finished gatehouse design yet? I have not. Where's the gatehouse? That should be the answer to your question. All right, go make your pizza. Enjoy. Wasn't enough of an issue, you sags. Still put a pickup on the Discord. Oh, I may have seen it then and forgot about it. The last couple weeks have been a bit of a blur for me. And it's not going to get better anytime soon. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow morning. I'm going to have to get up so early to get to it, but it's one that I've been waiting for like half a year. So, like, I'm glad I'm finally getting in to see this specialist, but also, I gotta get up early. And that means I have to prepare tonight. I have to write down everything I want to say to them. And I need to look up Czech translations of everything, because I was told this doctor spoke English, but the last time I was told that, I got there and the doctor did not speak English, and I didn't have everything prepared, so it was a difficult appointment of my bad Czech and a lot of mime. And I'm not sure if I managed to properly communicate everything I needed to. I don't want that to happen again. Look faster. I have a ton of syrup, by the way. All those elderberry bushes. I made 25 liters of syrup. Fresh for 92.4 years. I think it'll probably last for a while. Here we go. That's only half of it. My goodness. Mom said no pizza today? Oh well. Red meat has aged in the vessels. Oh. Pick up armor stance, empty hand, shift right click. It's not very obvious if you haven't done it before. It took me a while to figure out the first time too. I discovered the hard way when I was recording for 100 days. My neck. Don't put meat in vessels in cellars. It actually makes it decay quicker, which I did not realize. If you look at a vessel, it says vegetable decay speed 0.2, grain 0.13, other 0.27. Oh no, hold on. Maybe that's location specific then. Or maybe it's weather specific. Anyway, I put some meat in a vessel, and it decayed faster than it would have in a chest. I actually don't know where you're supposed to put meat. I guess we're not really expected to store meat unless we're salting it, according to the base game. But we have options with the expanded foods. And right now the spoilage speed is set so low that it should last for a while anyway, unless it's really, really hot. If you put it up on hooks, actually not sure if that actually extends the life of it or if it just adds nutrition. If you need salt, we've definitely got some people who have plenty of salt, so you can get some of that. If you salt the meat, it lasts for ages and ages. Or you can make pemmican if you have fat. I just did it again. Pemmican will last for years and years. But you do need fat and you need fruit. Might need salt? Let's check. Let's check. Pemmican. Yeah, fat, fruit, meat. Salt optional. And then you don't even have to cook it. You just mix it and you shove it like I'll show you. Now again, we do have the spoilage speed set really low right now, but even with that, I think it's pretty obvious. 24 years. And that's raw. I think if you cook it, it may last even longer. Got some poultry pemmican in here. Aged poultry. But yeah, with the mods that we have, there's a lot of stuff you can do with meat. Does a creature change weight when they eat? I think it's supposed to have something to do with the weather. So in the winter, they're supposed to have lower weight than in the summer or something like that. We do have a pantry that was made by, I believe, by Asturial and Son. Very, very, very far up in the cold. Not too far north from where our solstice party is going to be, actually. And there's a teleporter there. You can get somebody to take you there if you need it. Reason with your mom and she said okay to pizza. Okay. Congratulations. Nothing like cooking a little herbal hardtack in the rain, eh? If we're not talking about food, I don't think I have anything to say tonight. I'm just absolutely beat. I'm so tired. I gave some consideration to just canceling again. I was like, no, I can't do that again. Cancel too many times. Some more firewood. But my brain is full of static right now. I started a big cleaning project yesterday. This shelf, actually, this big 5x5 Kallax shelf to my right. I took everything off the shelf, wiped it all down, wiped many months worth of dust off of it. The problem, like, dust builds up so fast here that I can, like, clean off my phone, go to bed, and in the morning I can see dust on my phone screen. Like, that's how fast it builds up. And it's so demoralizing. It's just like, why bother dusting all the time? I would have to dust every single day to stay on top of it. And I can't do that. I don't have the time and the energy to do that. And every time I do it, it kicks extra dust into the air, and then I breathe it in, and I'm super allergic to dust. Dust mites, technically. But I was like, it needs to be done, so I finally cleaned everything off. And also I needed to reorganize everything, because I finally have a bed with an under. So I need to, like, put a bunch of stuff under the bed, and then reorganize the shelves. So I started it yesterday, and I did the part where you clean everything off. And I did the part where you wipe off the shelves. And then I completely ran out of energy, and I just didn't have anything left in the tank to reorganize everything. So I piled it all up, and then this morning I finished the job. Which means that for the second day in a row, I breathed in a ton of dust. And then after that, I was like, okay, now I need to make that big batch of food, because I need to use up that meat before it gets too old. And then that wound up taking so much longer than expected. And then I was like, oh god, I have to stream too. My brain not working so good today. At least I'm getting stuff done, though. You also get hard by seasonal effect disorder? Yes. Yes, I do. I do very, very much. It's, bad times in the dark days. And I can't take antidepressants, because I get very bad and dangerous side effects from all of them. I can't even use the therapy lamp. I have one. I don't know, can you see it? You can kind of see right there. It's one of those bright lights for treating seasonal affective disorder, and I can't really use it the way you need to, because even that gives me weird side effects, and also headaches and occasionally migraines, so it's not super fun. So yeah, winter's pretty rough for me. Gotta fight it off by making lots and lots of food. Not hardtack. I'm not making hardtack in real life. I will be baking plenty of bread in real life. Last year for the solstice, I don't think I baked bread. I made a lot of pies, and I made a lot of stew, and I made a lot of pickles, and I made a lot of candied citrus rinds and crackers, but I don't think I actually baked bread. This year I'll definitely be making some bread. Yeah. I'm probably not as engaging of a streamer today as I sit back and watch my oven warm up in silence. Yeah, we'll at least finish cooking up a stack of hardtack, and we'll see what the time looks like. And I do actually have one last Halloween snack. Still have some leftover Halloween stuff that I haven't tried yet. Probably try that in a bit here. And maybe I'll spend a few minutes at least looking into its purpose of making lard. Sparrow, I have absolutely no idea what the purpose is of making lard. It does not go any further than using the fat on its own, and it's exchangeable at a 1-to-1. I imagine maybe it's just in there in case other people want to mod in their own recipes that require lard. But yeah, it doesn't seem to provide any actual benefit. I actually have some up here, right there. 1.1 liter of hardened lard. I wanted to do that to see if it gave you extra or something, or more nutrition. Nope. Exactly the same as far as I can tell. So, like, animal fat does not spoil, and it stacks to 64, so there's really no reason whatsoever to make lard. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why it's like that. Yeah, not worth it. Not sure how to use vegetable stock for soups. You need a liter per per portion, I think. Most of the expanded foods recipes require 0.1 liter of whatever thing, but for making soup you need a full liter. And I definitely didn't know that the first time I did it, so couldn't get it to work either. That may be your issue. Slowly cooking a hardtack. I had a pretty happy moment this past week where... Was that this week? I think it was this week. I like singing. I'm not an especially good singer, but I do enjoy singing. I tend to get frustrated because I have a hard time getting up into the higher ranges. And for ages I thought it's because, like, I just need to train, like the bridge between the lower and the upper registers, right? So out of curiosity, because my voice has got a lot deeper than it used to be, and I was wondering what my vocal range is now. I always had a fairly deep voice, even before my voice changed. My vocal range, like my singing range, was always pretty low. But I wanted to see what it is now. So there's websites where you go and you just like hook up a microphone and sing your highest and lowest comfortable notes. And it tells you what your range is, and then it tells you like famous singers who have similar ranges and stuff. I was expecting, there's a light behind me. Hello there, Jammer Babber. You come to mooch. You eat your pizza? What kind of pizza was it? Yeah, I figured like I probably moved down at least into like baritone range, right? Bass. Apparently I am a bass singer, which is wild to think about. Like, this whole time I've been thinking, like, oh, I wish my voice would get deeper, I wish my voice would get deeper. It's not as deep as I would like it to be. Turns out my voice is actually pretty deep, and I just didn't realize it. But, yeah, my singing range, it's actually, it feels really good. Like, so the reasons I couldn't do the higher notes is not because I need more training, it was because, my range just doesn't go that high. I was trying to do falsetto, and I couldn't get it to come out strongly. It's a little frustrating because the vast majority of popular music is in the tenor range for male vocalists, so it's like the highest register, and I just can't hit a lot of the notes. I mean, I can do them in like falsetto, but it's not the same as proper, you know, strong singing. So 1 liter stock, and then add the ingredients in a cooking pot. Yeah, so one slot will be a liter of stock for each portion. So if you're making a full pot, you'll make six liters of the stock, and then 6 of the vegetables or whatever. Must be tone deaf. A lot of people are tone deaf. It's not uncommon. And if you enjoy singing, you should sing anyway. It's kind of a shame that, like, our society paints artistic things like singing and dancing and drawing and painting and all that as talents. They're skills. They're things that you have to be good at, rather than just things that humans do. Humans just do those things. We just do. We make art. We sing, we dance, some people are really, really good at doing it in a precise way, and some people are not, but you should do it anyway. It's part of being human. Yeah, apparently my voice is actually quite a bit deeper than a lot of my male friends. I was just like, oh, I've been over here this whole time like, I wish my voice would get deeper. Apparently it's pretty deep. It does get squeaky if I go a bit higher. But apparently that's a common thing. And I'm probably the only one who notices it. Because one of my cis male friends, I was complaining about, voice changing and stuff, and he was like, oh, I hate when my voice cracks. I'm just like, I've literally never heard your voice crack. He was like, what are you talking about? Happens all the time. Oh, it just happened. I was like, it did not. Your voice is not cracking. You're the only one who can hear it. And he was like, oh my gosh, I was so sure that my voice was all squeaky and everyone thought I sounded like a nerdy little kid. And I was like, no, not at all. I was like, wait, the same is true for me, I guess. Good to know. That another Neanderthal said to another Neanderthal, you should let someone else be the case. Exactly. We do the things because that's just what we do. Facts. Alright. I am going to try this final Halloween candy. This is the last of the Halloween candies I bought. Squeak, 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 squeak. Yes, chair. Everyone has heard from you. Desperate for attention, this chair. So this is an interesting one. I'm going to read it and I'll show you. This one is The Graveyard's Cobweb. Sour tutti fruity flavor. This is again from that same shop, the Danish shop. The wall's perfectly salvageable. Hey, congrats. It's wonderful news. This appears to be cotton candy, but like pre-made cotton candy in a tub. So there it is. This is just a big old tub. You can kind of see it in the bottom. I'm gonna... Actually, don't know how to get this open. There's a... Oh, there it is. There's a little ridge. That doesn't smell very good, I'm gonna be honest with you folks. Doesn't look very good either. Not very appetizing. Sorry, I'm peeking the mic there. It feels just like regular cotton candy. It's got like... Is this the way it's supposed to be? It's got like black specks in it, but like not evenly distributed. There's like a clump of these black specks in there. Is it supposed to be like that? Doesn't smell like much. Oh, get that hardtack out of the oven. It's not meant to look appetizing, it needs to look soup. Yeah, I know, but I'm not sure if it's supposed to look specifically like this. Or if it's already spoiled or something. I don't know how long this lasts. Oh. Oh, that is very, very sweet. Oh my god. I feel like I got punched in the mouth. Holy crap. I know I've said this before, but we've set a new record for the sweetest thing I've ever tasted. Oh my god. I put the tiniest little bit of that in my mouth. I think my voice just changed. We will not be finishing that. Maybe my friends who live across the hall would like that. My god. We've set a new record for thing that I cannot finish whole. I'm gonna not recommend that one. My fingers are sticky now. Incredible. Wow. Flying Tiger of Copenhagen, you really outdone yourselves on that one. My god. The trees are breaching the walls? Why are they growing so fast around you? Are you just online way more often than anyone else, maybe, and so your area is loaded more? Like, knocked the wind out of me. God. Wash the taste out of my mouth. Well, that was terrifying indeed. I'll have nightmares about that. I'll have to find someone to inflict that on. Nearing the end now. 2 more batches. I made a huge batch of candied clementine rind this week. Candying citrus rind is such a mess and such a pain, but honestly extremely worth it because it tastes so much better than anything you could like store buy, and it keeps for ages and ages. Throw it in the freezer. Tell you what, I'm gonna go grab the bag while this oven is heating up. It's just right around the corner. Just mute. Go. So this is my big bag of candied. This is clementine rind. It's quite a good amount. I mean it's basically candy. This is from 16 clementines. I bought a whole crate of them. I think I posted a photo of the crate on Discord after I bought it. I didn't use all of them, but I used a good number of them. It's mostly sugar at this point. I have also eaten. I ate most of the clementines and I gave some of them away to neighbors. But minced up for baking, incredibly flavorful, and also you can just straight up eat it. It's literally candy. Oh, that tastes good. Very strong flavor. Delicious. I see Lantern going by me. Going through my stuff, Jeremy Bever. Rude. You are. Excuse me. Thief. Nosy. Anyone is really interested in an 8-year-old game of the year. Oh, Witcher series. Sorry, I missed that. I think I missed a lot of chat today. Sorry, folks. If I missed something that you really want to make sure I see, just say it again. I'm not into the Witcher games. I saw somebody playing one of them, and it was really sexist, and I didn't enjoy it. So I do know a lot of people who like those games, but not for me. I'm not really into AAA games anyway, for the most part. Very, very few exceptions. Hey, last hardtack. This would have been better done in the mill over there where I have 4 ovens set up, wouldn't it? Here's a thought I'm just having as the last ones are being cooked. Hold on a second. I think those trees are spreading, aren't they? These ones aren't. I think the Wildcraft trees don't. Skyrim. I still never got very far in Skyrim. Cook. Aster. Got a scythe on me? Not on me, actually. I'm gonna put, excuse me. I'm gonna put, I've got no space. Again, please leave the cheese and leave, like, the pemmican and the eggs and stuff. But if anybody wants to take fruit bars, candied fruit, or dried fruit, don't take all of my vegetables, right? And don't take like all of anything, but you want to take a little bit of stuff. Help yourselves. Nostalgia? Jeremy Beber, I don't think you're old enough to feel nostalgia, are you? Genuine question, is there like... I guess you could have nostalgia for when you're like... Huh. This is an interesting philosophical question. How old do you have to be before you can experience nostalgia? They are very different games, I think. I've never played the Witcher game, but... Okay, stack of hardtack done. This will last for a year in here. How long will it last in here? 7.4 years, perfect. But once again, these back two, well, you can take some of the soybeans if you want, but otherwise, appreciate if folks would leave those. You want to take something out of here, go for it. You want to take some of the candied fruit. Again, please don't take all of it, but help yourself to some, no problem. It's only 5 years after you were born, Rendered Space? I think I need to go have a little cry. Yeah, Sparrow, I'm with you. I'm with you. Oh, I'm gonna replant the pumpkins here. They have definitely grown. $28, okay, you're a baby as well. I used to have a much older audience. I don't know what happened. Like, you're all welcome, don't get me wrong. I'm glad you're all here. But it is a strange feeling that most of the people I'm surrounded with are so much younger than me these days. Oh my god. Alright. Yeah, these are spreading. You know what? I wonder if the settings got borked. Yeah, if people are frustrated by the wild farming tree spread, we'll just turn it off. I can just straight up turn it off. It's not a problem at all. What is that? Birch cane. Also, why is the birch texture messed up? It's been this way for ages. I think Wildcraft did that. Or not Wildcraft, I think Wild Farming did that. Or maybe maybe it was Wildcraft or Wildcraft trees. There was only one tree here before. Well, now there's no trees. That's what you get. You've lost the privilege of growing here. You can ask for ID buying Red Bull scissors. My god. I mean, I don't usually get ID'd. In this country, it's very rare that anyone IDs anyone for anything. Oh gosh, I have no space. I keep saying I need to make a proper storage area. God, everything's full. Alright, there's a chest here. Here we go. Everything goes in there now. We'll deal with it later. There have been times when I get asked for ID, which is always hilarious, because when they see my ID and they see my birth date, they're just like... Either they're like, this has to be a fake ID, or they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. Never do dating apps? Hey, I said the same thing. Everyone has their limit, man. Everyone has their limit. It is a bit strange, because by default, they search for an age range 10 years older and 10 years younger than you. And I've left it at that. And it has become very strange to see the upper limit of the ages and be like, oh, they're old. Like, oh no, wait, they're not that much older than me. I'm old. Dating apps are not inherently a bad thing. In some cases, they're the only option you have. and they can be useful. Unfortunately, in this country, the only one that anyone uses is Tinder, which is not great. But because it's the only one anyone uses, there's a greater variety of people on there than I think is the case in some places where it's only used for like hookups. Well, it's the only thing we got. It's not so bad here. Most of the matches that I get are people who are just looking for hookups, and I have to inform them that I am not interested in that, and then they stop talking to me, which I guess fair enough, whatever. But I get a pretty decent number of people who are truly just nice people like you would find on any other dating app. People, like, when I first started, I was like, okay, I'm giving in. I'm going to try a dating app. People are like, you have to do Bumble. Bumble's a good one. So I got it. I installed it. Spent hours setting up a profile. I'd never done anything like this before. It was so stressful. And then turned it on, and 0 matches. Because it turns out, no one in this country has that. It's people don't use it here. So I had to, eventually, I had to get Tinder. There are some nice people on there. I have not successfully, found someone or whatever, but I have at least some conversations going on there, which are with people who seem nice enough that I may meet in person. I have put on there that you're really going through all my stuff, aren't you? I appreciate you guys too. It's so much cassava. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any other way to meet people in any capacity. I put on there that I'm looking for friends, not for relationship. And I have... A lot of people will ignore that. One piece of flax grain. But a lot of people will be like, okay, I'm also looking for friends. Let's chat, let's make friends. Do you play... I keep telling people, I'm looking for gamer buddies. I want local gamer buddies to come over and play couch co-op with me, please. We'll see. We'll see if anything comes of it. So far, I have not met anyone from there. But I literally have no other way to meet people. With COVID, I can't just go to a bar or a cafe or anything like I used to be able to. And I don't work in an office, and I don't really leave the house almost at all, so I have no other way to meet people. Friends of friends are all tapped out. I don't know that many people, and this is a very specific sort of thing that most people are not looking for. I've heard of Enter the Gungeon, Jeremy Beber, but I've not played it. Alright. Is there anything else that I want to do today? Okay, you putting graffiti in my house again? Alright. So I'll probably make more hardtack, not right now. But thinking of what foods to bring to the party. We could make some balls. Some meatballs. We've got tons of candy still left over from the Halloween party. Could make dumplings. They don't usually last that long, really. I've already got a ton of fruit bars. Want to go make shingles with me? Oh, you mean like roof shingles? Honestly, this stream's probably not going to go for too much longer. I'm really, 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 really super beat today. And also, making clay stuff is pretty rough on the wrists. Because you have to be precise about where you point the pointer, and that requires more tension in your wrist. I've got a bunch of gelatin still. Plenty of pemmican. I'll definitely bring pemmican. I'd like to try making some blue cheese, but I'd have to get on more often so that I could get milk and then use the milk before it goes bad. Stuffed peppers don't work because we don't have peppers. I am gonna make some trail mix. It's part of what I want the the cheese for. I've made some pickled eggs. We've got candied fruit, we've got dehydrated fruit. Don't steal my cheese, Gem Remember. I need that for the party. Got salted meat. Yeah, I mean, I guess we've kind of already made most of the preserved foods. We'll make some hot foods as well. But those will be made, you know, right before the party. When was the party? Or when is the party? 17th. Not the 26th. No. I don't think too many people would come if it was the 26th. It's the Sunday before the actual solstice, so it'll be the 17th. Got ID'd buying wine for when he was 30. Yeah, I got ID'd on my 30th birthday in America. That was fun. And I only had a passport for ID because I was just visiting because I live in Europe now. And they wouldn't accept my passport. Or at first they wouldn't accept my passport. I had to go get the manager. Like, I don't know if we can accept a passport. I'm like, you literally, this is the most internationally ubiquitous form of ID. You have to accept a passport. And the manager said, well, because it's an American passport, we'll accept it. I'm like, literally, if a foreigner comes here, their passport is going to be their only ID. You have to... They had never seen a passport before. They didn't know how to tell if it was real or not. That's why they weren't sure if they could accept it. Completely wild. It's very dumb. America is a weird place. Just like watch the rain for a bit here. Actually, you know what? I'll take some of the grain and go feed the sheep. Just put all that in the crate. Pull it back out. Maybe I'll see if I can make... I need to make a special cellar so I can make blue cheese. Why would someone use a fake passport for drinks? Because America's a weird country, and people... It also varies very much state to state in the U.S., like how strict the laws are, and this was in Rhode Island, which is where my mother lives. And they are militant about controlling access to alcohol. You can't buy alcohol on Sundays. You can't buy alcohol after 10 p.m. It's really, really strict. Like, even by American standards, it's ridiculously strict. So, the cops will... Yeah, sort of. The cops will regularly send someone into shops with fake IDs. Or without IDs to try to buy alcohol. And if they can successfully buy alcohol, then the owners of the shop get in huge trouble and to pay huge fines or potentially get arrested depending on the circumstances. So even if they can look at you and be like, you're clearly over 21, which is the minimum age in America, which is also wild to me at this point, they still can't sell it to you without an ID because you could be sent in by the cops. So I can kind of understand them being nervous about accepting a form of ID they weren't familiar with. But, like, you gotta accept passports as ID. Under all circumstances, you have to accept passports as ID. Got 100 pounds off the police during one of their campaigns to cut down on people selling alcohols to youths. How'd you manage that? They just give you money? I do occasionally get ID'd here, like I said, usually by cashiers at Tesco who are just like, you don't look old enough. And I'm like, you think I look... Okay, I get that I look young. I get that I don't look as old as I am. But, like, do I really look under 18? Surely I don't look under 18. And I'll always be like, you really want to see my ID? Like, do you not see all the gray hair at my temples, the wrinkles around my eyes, the receding hairline, the balding spot in the back? Hey, we went to different shops. Oh, so you did this to... This is exactly the thing I'm talking about. That's wild. Usually they'll just be like, yeah, whatever. Sometimes they're like, no, you gotta show me your ID. Which is stupid, because they're not gonna get in trouble if they sell alcohol to a kid. Like, nobody cares here. But the delivery service that I use for my groceries, Rohlik, it's really excellent. You can order most things that you would want to buy, and then just bring it to you. And I have the premium subscription, which is not expensive, which means I don't pay shipping, don't pay delivery costs. And they always say when you order alcohol, there's 17-year-old folk who look older than you. Come on. I don't look that young. I mean, you're also just getting a little picture of me on a webcam. Like, you see me in person, I may not look quite my age, but I don't look 17. Under no circumstances. And I have had this confirmed by friends who have been like, no, you look 40. Which is a little bit older than I am. But I would rather look 40 than 17. Apparently part of it is the way I dress, because I refuse to stop wearing jeans and t-shirts. The idea that you're supposed to stop wearing comfortable clothes that you like as you get older is stupid, and I will not have any part of it. But whenever you order alcohol, it always has a little note when they're saying that your ID will be checked when they bring your delivery to make sure you're over 18. Never has anyone ever checked my ID. They have other deliveries to make. They glance at you, they hand you your bags, and they move along. But the other day, I actually had a delivery, and the delivery man was actually like, he's looking at his little smartphone, you know, where it tells him, like, what to do and make sure you got all the number of bags correct and everything. And then he looks at me and he goes, are you 18? I was just like, excuse me? Are you over 18? I was like, yes? Are you kidding? And he's like, it's just I have to ask you. I was like, okay, yes, I am over 18. And I started laughing, and he was like, all right, whatever. And I was like, and I told him how old I was. And he was like, you can't be that old. I was like, I will go back upstairs and get my ID if you really want to see it. He was like, no, that's fine. And he said, actually, I'm 52. And I was like, you're not 52. He didn't look a day over 40. And he was like, see, I understand. Tesco buying a few things. Cashier asked for ID. For Red Bull? Wait, I'm sorry, you need ID to buy Red Bull? Serious? There's an age limit to Red Bull? That's a new one for me. I've never heard of an age limit on energy drinks. That's wild. That is definitely not a thing here. Well, you shouldn't be drinking energy drinks. I guess I can see why they would age restrict it, but it seems like it would be too difficult to, like, check IDs for energy drinks. I don't know. In this country, they don't even really check IDs for alcohol unless they're bored or you really look like a child. Just sip coffee in the morning instead of energy drinks. Well, I mean, you should. At your age, it will genuinely affect your development. Like, you're not close to finished growing yet, and that will stunt your growth having that much caffeine. It's really, really bad for you. Like, I like energy drinks. I do drink them occasionally. Like, when I don't take my ADHD meds, I always have an energy drink to make up for it because I need it to self-medicate. Yeah, alcohol-infused energy drinks are extremely dangerous, for sure. But yeah, if you're under like 25, you really shouldn't be drinking energy drinks. At the very least, you want to be like... I don't think I would allow anyone under maybe 16. If I had authority, I don't think I would let them have an energy drink. How are we doing? We got some pregnant sheeps? Actually, most of them are pregnant. All right. I guess I'll leave it at that. Maybe I'll put the rest in the chickens. I'm gonna have to do a bit of a cull with the chickens. Yeah, some. We died after drinking Monster mixed with alcohol, or just Because if it's mixed with alcohol, that's definitely dangerous. I don't think you would die just from energy. Like, you would have to drink enough caffeine that it kills you, you would have to... I don't think you could physically do it with the amount of caffeine to liquid ratio. Like, I don't think you could physically fit enough of it in your body to get caffeine poisoning. It is possible to be poisoned by caffeine. You can be poisoned by anything if you have too much of it. But I don't think energy drinks could kill someone directly unless they had, like, maybe like a pre-existing health condition that made them sensitive to it. But yeah, alcohol mixed in with energy drinks is very, very dangerous, for sure. That should absolutely be restricted or maybe straight up not exist at all. There's very rare circumstances where I think alcohol and stimulants are called for. It's the amount of caffeine that's in energy drinks, it's way too much to be mixing with anything. What you making over here? Making some shingles. 5 beers worth in 1 can. Yeah, it's dude chugged 12 Red Bulls in his liver fat. Really? I'm probably not gonna fact check that because it's not important enough to me. But I mean, I suppose if you're drinking 12 energy drinks, then yeah, that could do some pretty serious damage to your body. There's more than the daily recommended limit for caffeine in one of those for the average person. I only have energy drinks as a self-medication because my ADHD medication is a very strong stimulant. So but strong stimulants don't affect my ADHD brain in the same way they do a typical brain anyway. And it does help. But, should not be having more than one of those in a day. That is very dangerous. If we're talking those levels of consumption, then yeah, I can see how that could seriously harm or maybe even kill someone. Alright, I'm just wandering around and blathering, and I'm very tired, so I think I might... we made it 90 minutes, and I started 10 minutes late, so there's only 20 minutes before I would have to stop anyway, and I don't have anything that I want to do in 20 minutes, so I think we're gonna call this one. I'm glad that I got on here at least a little bit, made a little bit of hardtack. Had a nice chat with folks about foods and drinks, for the most part. Oof, that's rough, Sparrow. That's rough. That's a tough situation. The medications are really important, but also you want to take care of your heart. I wouldn't know what to do in that situation myself. I hope you're okay. All right, but anyway, yes, we're gonna say goodbye for today. Thanks for hanging out. I feel like I had something else to say. I don't remember what it was. I'm gonna go lie down. Everyone have a great rest of your Sunday, and see you later. Bye.